Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another conversation with Shaman. My name's Joe Molloy, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Piotr Gacki, who's he's just completed his first medicine wheel program in the Inca tradition, and has come to share some of his experiences and a bit about his life journey, what brought him to shamanism. Um, if you've been watching the other videos, and I know we were just talking, aren't we, Piotr? And you've been watching as they've been coming up. You've been watching them. And I guess getting a perspective on each person's journey, maybe in a way you're familiar with, knowing some of them, maybe different things they're speaking about. But it reminded me while we were talking this morning that there's this hours and hours and hours of videos. And I think, am I going to go and sit down? I've sat through them once when we recorded them. So am I going to sit down and watch them again? And maybe, maybe not. But it's lovely to get this fresh feedback that you're saying little things about their journeys. Anyway, what I'd like to do is hand over to you, and you tell us a bit about yourself, Piotr, and
Yes, sure. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone who's watching. So my name is Piotr. I just completed shamanic teachings this year, Medicine Wheel with Joe Molloy. And I would like to tell you a little bit about my story, how all these things started for me, how I get to this point where I am now. So Everything started to me, let's say, in about end of 2019, when that was a little bit of strange time for me. About end of the year, I get ill. I had, horrible cough. That takes about a month before I was able to recover. It was very difficult time. Uh, Also, I had many questions regarding. I simply felt that something is not right around. Something is going on in the background, let's say. Like I felt really strange, but I didn't know what it was. And after some time, I met some guy on one of the Facebook groups that we started talking a little bit, about the whole situation around the world. And he started asking me some question about my spiritual life. And I was really honest to him because I didn't have a spiritual life at this time. Or, well, I'm, let's say, from Catholic family, but I didn't practice or anything. I had my own beliefs. I had my view how things may look like, but I didn't practice too much. So he started talking with me about some spiritual aspects of life, and we get deeper in this conversation, deeper and deeper, and I was really enjoying all of these chats. And on some point, he asked me, uh, did I have any healing session in the past? And I said, no, I didn't have anything like this. To be honest, I was very skeptical. I didn't believe things like that are actually possible. So, but for some reason, I really wanted to do it. And I asked him, like, I didn't have anything like that in the past, but I'm very happy to have this experience. So we arranged one session, then we arranged another one. And to be honest, I didn't feel anything during that session, maybe a little bit warm in my belly. But I was waiting for a few weeks, and after 3 weeks, about a month time, I started feeling a little bit different. Uh, I started feeling a little bit different, like I felt like something going on around me, like something is changing. I wasn't sure what is it, but I felt different. I felt good, very good, to be honest, but I couldn't find myself. Like something changed, but I didn't know what. Uh, so after that time, some changes started to appear in my life. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I stopped drinking alcohol. I started looking at things different than I looked before. Like some situation happened, and I just started having a different view of them. And so my life started to change slowly, 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 for better, obviously. And on some point, I asked myself, okay, I would like to learn more about these things. What's actually happened? What is going on? Maybe I'll be able to do some kind of healing. And there was many situations which one we can call coincidence, but it's not. And I met a lady then, which one was a shamanic master, not shamanic, sorry, Reiki master. And I started my Reiki training with her. So I was really enjoying that. I had a session with people as well. They were enjoying this, and that was beautiful time for me. But on some point, I started thinking like, this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Like there's still some space in my life that is empty. So I was looking for something else. I become a member of the Healing Trust, which one is British charity organization. They working with spiritual healing. I had a great mentor, Ian, that I sending regards as well. I will pass that video to him as well. So I would like to say thank you very much to him for all the time that we spent together, all of the teachings that I had from him, that conversation about life, spiritual life. Was very thankful for this time. And I was keep looking and I was keep looking. I get to the point when I really felt like I'm stuck. I'm simply stuck in my life. I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. Theoretically, everything seems fine, but I had that feeling of emptiness inside me. So I simply asked myself, I tried to connect to my soul, and I asked, just please show me the way, which way I'm supposed to go, because I don't know. I feel stuck. I thought about this. I thought about this. I'm simply feeling stuck. I don't know what to do. And then interesting things started to happen again. I started to see things related to shamanism, like some articles in the newspapers, on some websites, some kind of workshops. And I just thought, okay, it's a lot of these things started appearing since that time when I asked my soul, please show me a path. And I just thought, okay, maybe shamanism is the right thing. So I started reading some articles about it, because that was also a new thing in my life. I didn't have, I had a picture of shaman, let's say from the movies, which one, and I didn't know any shaman at this time. So I didn't know, to be honest, what to expect, how this things looks in reality.
Mm.
And I found some Polish shaman, and I attended some workshop online, which one was quite good, to be honest. I took a lot from this for myself, but that shows me a picture of shamanism that might be different to this picture what I had, and now become even more interested. Uh, so I knew it, like I would like to follow this path, and then I started looking for some shaman locally here in England. And my sister-in-law that Anna, she said to me like she knows you, and she passed me your contact details, and then we arranged the chat. And yeah, so that was about a year ago. And then you told me about Medicine Wheel, the work that you are doing, and I just was thinking about. And as soon as you told me, I started something. I started having some feeling inside me, like, okay, I'm very close, and so I just thought, okay, there's one issue which one stopping me at this moment. There's financial issue, how to get the money for this workshop. And money appear out of nowhere. Simply from one place, from another place, people come for some healing session as well. So I received some donations and I thought, okay, I have everything what I need. And then I just send you a message, Joe, I really would like to attend Medicine Wheel this year. And I knew it since the time when I confirmed this. That was like a big relief for me, like a big relief. And I thought, okay, that's going to be great. I knew it like 2024 will be a great year for me. Something very important in my life will happen. And I still remember the way to Shirley for the first Friday when we were starting
Here to Shirley, where we live in.
South class, yes. And I was driving in a car and I just thought where I'm going, what I can expect there, but I felt so excited. And yes, that's how it starts. That's how it starts, the whole story.
You know, excuse me, everyone. Listening to what you were saying, I was amusing myself and thinking of all the different things that everyone who's been sharing their story, their journey, will say, have said, um, and all of the things people will pick up on. I wonder whether sharing how money appeared from nowhere, right? Um, if that's going to be the thing that a lot of people will kind of latch onto and maybe contact you about. How can I make money appear from nowhere? Because
Yes.
money seems to be both a literal, actual
Yeah.
source. We have a relationship with it. And that relationship is characterized in lots of ways by how much of it we've got, or how little of it we've got, or how much we're afraid it's going to disappear, or it's not going to arrive. And it's become a resource that might be as important as food, shelter, and water. We need these things, and they need to arrive, or we need to hold on to them. And a lot of people who are considering researching, what paths, what options are available, as I know you did, will be wondering, yes, well, but how am I going to pay for it? It's so far. There's the course, there's the accommodation, there's the bits and pieces I will want to buy as I go along. Um, and I think what it does, you mentioned, because it was the South, the start of the medicine wheel. The beginning of the medicine wheel throws us back onto and sometimes deeply into our old stories. And we don't think of them as stories. Maybe because we think stories are fiction. We hear this in childhood. But these stories are our spoken and unspoken narrative. It's who we tell ourselves and usually other people that we are. Um, and the beginning of the medicine wheel brings everything like this up.
Yes.
It's kind of it. I could be speaking to someone. Now we spoke this time last year, didn't we? And we started the medicine wheel in the March. So that was what is it? 3 months, 3.5 months, something. And some people I'll have been speaking to only this year. I've been speaking to some people since the summer and before about coming next year. And we usually get into a very sweet place, all the questions answered, everyone ready to come, enthusiastic, but kind of holding back a little bit because they're not ready to jump on. It's too soon to run. But when we get close and that kind of momentum builds up, and we come under the influence into the coils, if you like, of the archetype of serpent, which is the archetype that it's like the primary archetype, the primary lens that we look through at the beginning of the journey. And we look at everything that we identify with, particularly that we identify with closely, at what we have and what we don't have. And although it seems back to front in a way, everything that we tell ourselves or that we hear, or every sense that we make of the world we live in, of our life, that stops us usually from saying yes. Yes to the things we really want. Yes to having more. Yes to being more. Yes to being, not more than we are, but being who we are, being the full
Yes.
version of who we are. Yeah. And everything that stops us seems to show up. And a week before, a bit longer, sometimes just a few days before, people will call me or message me and say, I need to talk to you. Something's happened. I can't come. And they're full of woe and angst and all sorts of things. Um, and at that point, because it's the beginning of this journey, and I'm going to say there are lots of different personal development programs, lots of different traditions, uh, lots of different things. But I don't know of very, very many at all that come from thousands of years old, uninterrupted, unbroken lineages, or that offer people what this does. But anyway, at that point, you haven't started. Where's our mesas? Let's get our mesas. You haven't started to do the work to create your mesa, your medicine bundle.
Yes.
And the work that you invest in the transforming of the stones, the healing stones, ordinary stones to start with, they might be beautiful, they might be plain, they're just stones. And they get transformed in different processes. In the south of the medicine world, we call it the Yana Chakwi process, which is to overwrite or re-imprint. It takes a stone, and you remember. Do you remember this from March? Sometimes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we can be so deep in the process of our work at the time, as you know, that you're there fully in the moment, but then I can ask someone a year later, "Do you remember doing this?" And they go, "No, no, 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 no. Is that new?"
Hmm.
Right, yeah, yeah. He must be doing this for the first time, but you're so in your process in that moment that you don't retain information about what you have done, just the experience of what has happened. So you don't have healing gifts held in your stones, held in your mesa. You don't have the resources to take you over the threshold that you accumulate as we go around the medicine wheel. Resources that help you manage change, challenge, evolution. Not evolving, growing is a challenge. Stepping away from our old stories, and that's that kind of archetype of serpent is so important at the beginning because part of its sort of story um, to us is that it lends us its qualities. It helps us as an archetypical energy in the form we perceive as the archetype in the form of serpent. It helps us to shed the outer layer, our old story, what we show to the world, our outer layer, helps shed it sweetly and easily, just in the way a serpent sheds its skin. And I've never seen a snake lose its skin in real time, only someone's film recording, video recording
Yeah.
after. But it looks amazing. I don't know how the snake experiences it because I can't ask it. I can only go by appearances. And it appears to shed it sweetly and easily. And, like so many of us pick things up in our life and they become ideas that we identify with. The at one end, you might be living with the mythology of having been born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Very fortunate, have everything you want, everything you need, everything you desire. And then someone else, they didn't even have a spoon, not even a little metal one or a wooden spoon. And they have that story. We might say, for me, I'm not enough, or there isn't enough to go around. Other people will always have more. Um, and many people invest so much time and energy in talking therapies, which absolutely, have a place and a value and an effect, which I know I worked in that. That was my field for very many years, counseling and psychotherapy. Um, but it takes so long and often means going back into how the old trauma felt in order to release it. And what I love this way of working is that it's so much more of an empowering and sweet transformation and transition. But we do love our old stories.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, I cut across you a little bit, but it was that, yeah, I suppose just thinking about the start of the next medicine wheel also. And an ending always is required to lead to another beginning. So
Yeah.
where we are, where you've just finished your medicine wheel for this year. And when we were kind of talking before we started recording, I remember you using words like integrating and reflecting.
Yeah. Yes, that was exactly what it was. Uh, First 2 weeks when we finished medicine wheel this year, that was a time for me for reflection, to be honest, to reflection to find out how do I feel, where I am now, how the world around me looks like, and like I would say, like there were new doors for me that become open, and I'm stepping into some room, big, huge room, and I would like to go there, and I would like to go there, and I would like to go there. It's everything is brand new, everything is interesting, and it's like a fresh start for everything. So my attitude at the moment was first 2 weeks when we completed medicine wheel is just observe and find out which part of it will be interesting, where I would like to go first, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, it's like, I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Sometimes it's just nice to have that, someone to say really directly because so much is going on. We're in processes of change and transformation all the way through the medicine wheel journey. So it's good to have a break. And then, you can settle back in to family and home and know that things perhaps that you thought, I would think, I want to change, back at the beginning of the program earlier this year in March. Um, when you look again at your life, not only have you changed, but the things around you have changed.
Yes, definitely.
So always, you don't need to change the world by going out on a crusade. This is the shaman's way of changing things too. We do this work, these healing skills we offer to other people. Absolutely. And the healing stones in this mesa, they are a gift. They hold this healing energy and potential for other people. But we create our mesas initially for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because until that's what it was. Yes, I was thinking this morning. What am I going to say when we're speaking together? I was thinking, it's only when we can see the world clearly, which means clearing away everything that obscures and occludes our perceptions, like windscreen wipers, so you can see clearly. Otherwise, if your windscreen is muddy, you think, well, that's the world. The world around me is muddy. The world outside is muddy. And you don't know until you clear it. Oh, it's old mud. And everything else is now clear. I'm
Yes.
not looking at mud. I'm looking at a beautiful sunset or snow falling or something. Um, hmm. But only when we clear this, and these are created by experiences that each of us have in our life in the past, sometimes past life inheritances, epigenetic inheritances to our ancestry or our past lives. Only when we clear it can we really have a good idea of what needs changing, healing, attending to, in our lives or the lives of others. Otherwise, we just, not unless you have that way of working with the shadow stuff that we all have so you can see it. Otherwise, we have to project it onto the world so we can see it. And then every wound that we have, that I have, you have, anyone, and this isn't just shaman and healers, everyone does this, but this dynamic of projection gets, uh, it's like there's only one side to it, one critical side, no value. But it is a basic human process and dynamic. The way to see the things that we cannot easily see with these eyes is to project it onto someone or something else. And then it's out there in the world, and then we see it. We have to remember that it didn't begin out there in the world, or it's not just out there in the world. I created it so I could see it. I created it so that I could free myself up, so I could liberate myself from these things. So yeah. And do you know what happens? You know what happens? Or maybe you have to guess because you're not, I don't know. Maybe you remember it by tracking into the future that's yet to come. Do you know what happens after the east of the medicine wheel?
Mm, you may have to give me a clue.
Lots of things, potentially, lots of things, yeah. What happens in a kind of dynamic way in the relationship with these archetypical energies is that it's like whether you start another medicine wheel program, like come to another class, do the work with me in person like this, or not, it's as though you feel it happening, and you start to wonder, what are the things that I identify with now?
Yes. I
So,
remember this practice what we have with sand painting in the North class about our personalities, about our roles that we are identifying with. That was one of the one of the greatest practice for me during the medicine wheel. I remember, collecting all of these sticks, attach them to some roles that we were playing in our lives, then putting them into sand painting. And then when we stripped ourselves from these roles and we stand, I remember that moment when we stand in the middle of the sand painting, like in the middle of infinity, without all of these roles and that peace around, that emptiness. That was such a great feeling, and uh, yes, that's changed my perspective for looking at on all of my roles that I'm playing in my life as well. Every single one I started looking at again. Is that the role that I'm playing? Is that the way how I would like to play this role? Maybe I'm supposed to change something. And it's also another perspective. So that helps me to tweak these roles a little bit so that I could play them better. And yeah, the outcome of that was also great for me too.
if there was one thing in particular, Piotr, that you take from this year of medicine meal, it is a meal. It just,
It is somehow, yes.
if you were to, um, oh, now I'm thinking about the food and the cooking, and yes, delicious, all that food. Right. If you were to, if there was one thing that you were to take from your year of experience of the medicine wheel journey, just one thing that you were to take forward and say that was important to me, what would it be?
It's difficult to choose one. There
Mhm.
were so many of them. But if I would have to choose one, it would be honesty with myself. uh, yes, to identify all of the issues that I was going through in my past, the current issues, and face them. Be honest with myself. Don't hide them, and simply find what may cause that in my life, how I could change this thing. So exploring myself and learning about myself, that was, I think, the most important thing for me. There's so many other things that I could mention, but if you ask me to choose one, I think this one will be learning more about myself. That would be the thing that I would like to choose.
Beautiful. Thank you, Piotr.
You're welcome.
Um, I've been asking other people as well about, uh, through their medicine, right? What power animal, either something that comes to you through journeying or something that shows up in some way in day-to-day life, yes, that you feel has specific significance for you. Um, and you were telling me about these, and
Yes, of course.
there were three that came to mind, I think.
Yes, three that I have in my mind. First one would be white tiger,
White tiger.
massive, yes, big white tiger, which one appeared in my life after one of the sessions that I have with the other students with Sinead, and he appeared after this session or in this session when she made a journey for me. And this is beautiful animal. Like I always had a connection with the white tigers. That's how I find this. Like I always like looking at the pictures of the white tigers. They were always interesting for me. But then when he appeared, I knew it. Like okay, here you are. Welcome, welcome. And I was so happy that he appeared. And the role that every time when I struggle a little bit, when I'm not feeling comfortable, like I'm having this feeling like a little concern, or maybe I'm a little bit afraid of doing something. I have a feeling like when I close my eye, it's really very close, around, not really next to me, but it's supporting me from the side or from the back or something that is somewhere close. And that helps me a lot in my day-to-day life because it's easier for me to make a decision when sometimes I was uh, a little bit afraid to make. It's really supporting and big wisdom I can sense from this power animal. Like it's really calm, really strong, but it's calm and wise. So I love it. I love to close my eyes and call for him so he can, get closer. I could say thank you for being around and build that relation. Another lovely power animal is very small, bigger than colibri. It's the size about like sparrow. It's little blue bird.
Yeah,
I can't, say what kind of breed is it, but if you can imagine blue sparrow, that would be this little bird. It's always flying around, and
like a little blue sparrow.
yes, yes, completely blue. No other colors, just blue, let's say shiny color.
How
And
big is
it's always flying around.
this? Like a sparrow size? Or
Yes, no, about, let's say, yeah, about the size of the sparrow. And it's always, flying next to me somewhere around, sometimes, exploring a little bit farther distance. And the way how this animal works with me, it's always uh, when I have some kind of dilemma in my life, when I don't know exactly what to do. Uh, he helps me to see a little bit bigger picture of this situation. Like, he's flying a little bit, observing things, what is going on. Okay, if you do this, you'll be able to get there. Like a little bit being in the labyrinth or something like that when he's going on and show me, okay, that's going to be the right way for you. So that's the way how it works. And the last one that appeared 2 days ago in my dream, and that was eagle. If you can imagine the eagle from American flag or symbol of America, that was this kind of eagle. But the eagle is also, in Polish tradition, very popular animal, and
Uh,
was it appeared in my dream and was very big. And I'm just starting to build my relation with this power animal. But it's also really strong. And yes, I'm just going to explore what that means, how we gonna work together from now, let's say, and what kind of gifts he has for me. So
hmm.
it's really interesting.
Have you ever met an eagle in day-to-day life?
Yes, yes, I met eagles, yes, few times. So that was, well, it was in the zoo, so they weren't free, but maybe this is some kind of meaning for me too, because I always respected freedom as a huge value. I always, that was freedom was very important to me. And maybe he has something to do with this. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing.
Yes.
Oh, I'm stuck with this bluebird, yeah. I'm just trying to, because we're in the UK, and for the life of me, I can't, unless it's like a blue tip, but they're not all blue.
No, but this is why I was struggle a little bit when I tried to simply Google it, bluebird, and I tried to look at the picture, to find what kind of breed it might be. But it's simply a small, blue, shiny little bird.
Hmm. Well, maybe you manifested it, you created it. I don't
I
know,
don't know.
living three-dimensional expression of your medicine or something. Who knows? Who knows
Who
with
knows?
these things? So what's next for you, Piotr? I
What
know
is next for me?
what do you see on
Um,
the horizon?
practicing, having chats with people that I really enjoy. Uh, One of the things that I learn as well during medicine work is listening. And this thing, what you repeated to us, shaman need to stay awake.
Yeah.
And this is the thing what I'm learning and practicing was listening people's stories. And when I'm listening these stories, I'm really enjoyed, really enjoyed. So my next thing is keep practicing. I had the idea of making my website, but it's just the idea yet. I have my Facebook page that I'm slowly to trying to develop. It's simply lots of going on at this stage. So I would like to, settle everything down and try a little bit of this, try a little bit of this, see where this will take me. All of the perspective, everything is open. Everything is open now. I can go wherever I want. It's just try a little bit of this, try a little bit of this, see what I would like, what is going to work for me, for the other people, and explore, explore.
Well, I like it. I like it. Um, yes, I was curious. Sometimes, people follow the medicine wheel. I guess this was behind at the back of my asking in a little way, as well as wanting to know. Some people find that the medicine wheel focuses them on work as a shaman, and might be what they really desire and want to do. And for other people also, sometimes what it does is you mentioned about doors. It opens or makes visible and then open doors in their life to other things they hadn't considered. Um, a lot of people go on. and they are able to access and realize the opportunity to step into and do things that they hadn't considered possible or didn't know could be possibilities. And some of the ones that are quite popular that seem to show up that people incline towards are end of life care and sort of end of life doula work and sound work. A lot of people, um, I look around and then they have a new kind of Facebook page or website or something, or just some videos of their work, and they're doing sound healing with gongs and crystal bowls and all of these things, things that maybe they hadn't imagined as possible,
Yes.
and they
Well,
make
for me, it's quite clear. Definitely, I would like to practice more my shamanic work. Definitely, this is the path. But the way when I mention like the doors are open and which direction to go uh, is simply more related to the shamanic work. Like for example, when we work with death in the East class, that was very interesting for me, and I think like the big percentage of me would like to explore this part, learn more about this, working with death, with death, helping people go to the other side to cross the rainbow bridge, and definitely I would like to explore more of this journeying as well. I really need to practice, and explore this part. So yes, everything is open. Everything is open, but definitely everything is related to shamanic work. Definitely.
glad to hear it. And we'll put details on the screen at the end of the video and also in the notes underneath. So if people want to contact you, to connect with you, ask you about the things you've been saying, or ask you about your work as a shaman, and also you're still doing Reiki healing as well? Are you doing?
Yes, I do, but I'm really focused on shamanic healing now. Yes, I really enjoying doing this work. It brings me a lot of happiness when I can help people. Then we have having a chat about with some kind of feedback. It's great feeling for me to have this possibility to help the others. Uh, I remember when we had our last fire and we have our Mesa dedication.
Yes.
And I remember the thing when I was saying this, when everywhere was dark around, and I just really connected to these things, what I said, like my dedication is to help people to find the balance in life, to live with the flow. That was so strong feeling inside me, like, yes, definitely I would like to do this.
Mhm. It's lovely to see that you are. So if you're listening or watching and you want to get in touch with Piotr, then we're going to put the email address in.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So maybe email in the first instance is a good way to connect. So, that,
Yes, email, phone number would be good.
yeah. Okay. So there we go. We'll put the details there. I just wriggle into a different position. In January, so it's December now. So January, hopefully, you're going to come back. Yes, I
Yes,
hope.
definitely.
And we're going to get together a little panel of everyone who's been taking part in these conversations with shaman videos recently. So all of us will be together and everyone is welcome to join. You can sit in the background for the live Zoom call. You can push yourself to the front and ask interesting questions if you wish. Please do. That would be much more interesting, much more fun. And you'll be able to watch the catch up also like this on YouTube, wherever you see us posted. So, um, Piotr, thank you so much
Thank
for
you very much, Joe. Thank you very much for everything. I said that so many times already. Thank you very much for helping me changing my life.
You're very,
Oh,
very,
thank you very much.
um, and it's like this work works for me too. We can't hold a space where other people change. Yes, we facilitate or foster that without opening up to my own process of change and growth as well. So without you, I wouldn't be this version of me.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you very much, everyone.
Um, all the blessings and great happiness for you and your family over the holiday season, and for everyone watching. We'll see you
Thank
in
you
the
very much.
okay. Much love. Bye for now. Thank you so much.